Tarjin the Blind is an elder Djaradin located on the western volcanic mountains of the Waking Shore. He is no mere quest giver. He has some amazing lore reveals and has been a truly unique way for Blizzard to have told us some of the story. For those who do not know, he offers a weekly quest to hunt dragons, to prove your worth, and each week he has a new tale to tell as a reward. These tales are the retelling of Djaradin histories. Let's look then at the huge lore impact some of these tales have, and how it impacts the greater story of World of Warcraft. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come, take a seat by the fire. The first time you meet Tarjin the Blind, he has two interactions he will offer right away. These are in the form of questions. You first ask him how he lost his eyesight, and why he is not with the other Djaradin. His answers are as follows. I lost my eyesight, as any Djaradin would wish to, in battle with a massive dragon. I hid on a mountain top for 3 weeks without moving, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Finally, I struck, jumping on the back of a powerful dragon named Fenestraza flying by. We wrestled as we plummeted through the sky, hundreds of feet, until we slammed into the heart of a volcano. Fenestraza had gouged out my eyes with her talons during the fall. But I had only begun to fight. I ripped the lava and earth swirling around us upward, wrapping around the dragon's entire body. Sightless, but filled with fury, I forced the dragon downward into the volcano's throat, burning it alive as we were both enveloped in lava. I held Fenestraza in that volcano for 3 days straight, until I emerged with nothing but her skull. Lava still pours out of her skull's eye sockets to this day. Do you doubt me? It rests there, on the shelf beside me. See for yourself what happens to those who oppose the Djaradin. And why should I be with the other Djaradin? Do not presume to know of our ways, outsider. After I was blinded in battle with Fenestraza, I was no longer welcome on the Qalashi dragon hunting parties. And they were right. I could not keep up with the other dragon hunters. I was a liability. So I passed my days in camp as a labourer. But my strength never waned. I continued down a different path to glory. I mastered control of earth and fire, bending magma and stubborn fire elementals to my will. While slumbering deep in the ground with the other Djaradin, my command over the earth only grew stronger. When the Djaradin awoke, I had no interest in returning to manual labour in our camp. Here, I can focus on strengthening my command over earth and fire, without distraction, usually. Now leave me alone. This is a great introduction. We get some background into who Tarjin is, and his values as a member of the Qalashi. Like most of his people, he values strength absolutely. It would be easy to dismiss these two as flavour, but it does bring up one of the deeper mysteries when it comes to the Dragon Isles as a whole. He mentions how he was slumbering deep below along with all the other Djaradin. But we know that not all of the Dragon Isles went to sleep when it was hidden away. The Watchers and the Titan creations slumbered, as did the Djaradin. But Dragonkind, Gnolls, and the Centaur did not. It is not entirely clear why. There are plenty of theories, and this reveal is likely one of the greater subplots that will be discovered as we progress through the story of the expansion. We were told during the expansion reveal that the primordial elements are manifesting due to Azeroth's continued awakening. This makes sense, but there is too much unexplained for it to be the entire story. The strengthening of the elemental power is something to keep in mind. If the elements are growing in power, it is possible that it is because the Titan constructs that were designed to control it have weakened or begun to fail completely. The next tale of the outsider goes as follows. Long ago, far before my time, legends tell of an outsider ship landing on the shores of the Dragon Isles, a warband of half-giants led by their king. They carved their way through the land. The Djaradin had not yet united under the Qalashi banner, and several tribes fell to the fearsome half-giants. But like all who face Djaradin on the battlefield, they eventually fell. In the end, their king stood alone in the battlefield against armies from all the Djaradin tribes. A whirlwind of violence and stubbornness, he refused to fall. For 8 days and nights he fought without rest, without fail. He had earned his place among the Djaradin and joined the Qalashi tribe as a dragon hunter. He fought alongside the Qalashi for years, slaying countless dragons as he proved his worth 100-fold. Until the day he finally fell in battle with a powerful dragon 100 times his size. He arrived an outsider, but he died a Djaradin. Now this is getting interesting. Vrykul in ancient times coming to the Dragon Isles. It does not mention a time or date, unfortunately. It is our theory that this is actually during the Winterscorn War. The Vrykul that attacked were either fleeing the war or looking for territory to claim. Maybe they were just part of the armies looking to subjugate more dragons for the war machine itself. We searched but have not found the grave of the king that died a Djaradin. However, since we know that they have a significant presence underground, it is highly likely we will get to see who this lost Vrykul king really was when we go to the new zone in 10.1. The follow-up to this is probably the most significant of them all, the tale of the Elders. Outsiders have often asked where the Djaradin learned to command earth and fire. Ignorant fools. The Djaradin command the earth and fire because we are the earth and fire. It is said that the Djaradin were the first earth giants to walk the surface of Azeroth. Shaping earth and mountains, they formed this land with their fists. According to legend, 4 elders of those ancient Djaradin joined their powers together to burrow deep inside the earth. The legends do not agree what happened down there, but they all end the same way. The elders emerged, touched by the fires of the world to be true Djaradin, commanding full control over fire and earth. In turn, the elders empowered all Djaradin into the mighty giants you see today. There is so much to unpack here. The first is that it is finally confirmed now that the Djaradin are indeed descended from earth giants. We have known for some time that there were 2 distinct types of giants, the elemental variety and the Titan Forge variety, and they have distinct differences. It would seem that the Djaradin are the naturally occurring elemental variety that we have seen many times before. but it is most clearly on display in Northrend. There we can observe the natural earth giants, often seen with trees growing upon their heads, and then the more humanoid created earth giants that are Titan forged. The next part is the 4 elders that burrow deep into the earth, which we covered recently in the video on the ancient slumbering power. What they found down there changed everything for their people. This is, we believe, a source of immense elemental power connected to the Azeroth world soul. So, if we look back to our original Djaradin video, this confirms what we once thought, that they did find a source of power, the one we surmised from the cave paintings, but we believed at the time this was a necessity to deal with the encroaching dragon threat. But this looks more like a desire for power they already had. We will find out more in the next tale, the tale of the Warlord. It is said the ancient Djaradin tribes were disorganized, rival warlords battling each other for supremacy, until one warlord of the Qalashi tribe saw a more worthy path for her people. She ordered her tribe to leave the Djaradin battlefields and focus their skills only on hunting the powerful dragons nearby. The other tribes preyed on the weak around them, the Tuskar, Gnolls, the Underdwellers, and in time they grew weak as well, but the Qalashi grew strong from fighting only the most worthy foes in the Isles. In time, the Warlord easily conquered the lazy tribes, uniting their strongest under the Qalashi banner. Focused and forged in battle, the newly emboldened Qalashi led a legendary rampage against the dragons. Never before or since have the Djaradin slaughtered so many dragons in a single day. Some Djaradin have forgotten the Warlord's timeless truth. What you fight, you become. That is why true Qalashi seek out strong opponents, and why weaklings such as you are not worth fighting. So this is the story of the unifying of the Djaradin people into the Qalashi that we encounter today. The Warlord mentioned is likely the same one we encounter at the end of the Neltharas dungeon, Warlord Sargha. But when he refers to Underdwellers, however, that is of great interest. At first we believed he was talking about the Scythed, since they seem to have a large presence in the cave systems here. And while that could be the case, we actually believe he is talking about the Earthen, the ones at AR 938, that were mentioned in the lore books of Uldaman. The Djaradin having a large presence underground makes perfect sense for them to have encountered these Earthen Underdwellers, and even come into conflict with them. It will be interesting to see how this dynamic plays out in the coming patches, but it is an exciting breadcrumb for sure. Up next, we have the tale of the Slumbering. Are you sure you wish to hear this tale? It may make you rethink your friendship with the dragons. It is said that the 4 Djaradin elders' mastery over earth and fire caught the dragons off guard in those first battles. Dragon after dragon fell, until Neltharion emerged from the obsidian citadel with his armies to halt their advance. The elders were hopelessly outnumbered, but the dragons were hopelessly outmatched. As the elders battled all challengers with honor, the so-called Earth Warder revealed his cowardice. Through honorless guile and trickery, the elders fell that day. But not before they had secured permanent footholds we still hold to this day. Some say that the elders did not die. but retreated deep into the earth, where they slumber and recover their strength. I do not know if I believe that, but I hope it's true. You and your dragon friends would be doomed. This is an interesting perspective. We all know that Neltharion had a natural predisposition towards trickery. We saw it at play when he posed as the human noble and convinced the humans that the Orc invasion was nothing but a ploy. For honor-bound Djaradin, this would seem honorless, but this is the side of Neltharion we love most. Everyone remembers him as the crazed aspect of destruction, warped by the demon soul and maddened by the whispers of the old gods. But he was a master at deception and strategy. He was a great military tactician, and this is a nice reminder. There is a chance that part of this guile was the use of the Void. The way he calls him the Earth Warder in quotation marks could be the giveaway. His proclivity towards shadow magic could have already been showing. But the Elders are by far the most intriguing part once again. This is not the only time we have heard claims that the Elders are still alive, that they're just slumbering. There are snippets of conversations scattered around the Djaradin areas, an ongoing search for the Elders. They believe that finding them and reawakening them is the key to their success. One of these believers we will soon hear about in the tale of the Magma Pact. Even the legendary Qalashi warlord who united the tribes never matched the raw power of the four elders. As the years passed, again and again the warlord lost ground to the dragons. Our people pushed further and further back into their mountain footholds, practically underground. 'Tis said that after her defeat at Scalebreaker Keep, she withdrew to the earth to ask the elders to lend her their strength. But upon her journey, a massive being of elemental magic approached her, an incarnate of the earth itself. This incarnate, Iridikron, asked the warlord what she would be willing to do to end the reign of the aspects. The warlord answered as any Djaradin would. We would do anything. Iridikron offered not power, but allies, an alliance of the Primalists and Djaradin against the Dragonblights. The warlord agreed. Some Djaradin objected, but most saw the truth. In this world, only the strong survive, and the Djaradin must survive. And I say, if there are dragons to be flying overhead, let it be ones infused with the same earth and fire that burns within us. Then, after the dragonflights are no more, these allies will merely be the last foes left for us to hunt. So here we have it again. The belief is so strong in the elders' continued survival that they go in search of them. This is not the last time we're going to hear of these elders. I sense a new raid is being set up, and a boss fight against the 4 Djaradin elders. Sounds like it could be epic. The Dragonflight's position is looking less and less secure as time goes on. Iridikron is gathering powerful allies. He's biding his time, gathering all the strength he can muster. There is most definitely a time limit on our ability to stop them now. We will need to act swiftly. For now, we have the final tale. The tale of the Weakling. Now this is my favourite tale that Djaradin tell. Long ago, there was a weak player who believed themselves equal with a powerful Djaradin. The Weakling asked many questions, and didn't always listen to the answers. The powerful Djaradin commanded the elements of the earth to consume the Weakling, burying them deep in the ground. The Weakling begged for their life, promising to tell the many stories of the great and powerful Djaradin they had heard to all who would listen. The powerful Djaradin spared the Weakling's life, and the Weakling spent the rest of their days telling everyone of the mighty Djaradin of the Dragon Isles. At this point, he kicks you from his lair, a fitting end to a Djaradin retelling the stories of his might. While none of this lore is world-shattering, it is an interesting way to get insight into the history of the Djaradin from their perspective. The implications of all of this are clear. The Djaradin threat is only just beginning, and what we have encountered so far is a mere fraction of their true strength. I cannot wait to see these 4 elders they talk so much about. One bigger implication of all of this is some more confirmation on something that has been building for some time, and we should probably mention that it seems the Titans did not really create much of anything. That it seems they took pre-existing creatures, or blueprints of them, and created ordered versions. The future is looking exciting indeed. Let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy Blizzard's new method of delivering a story? This feels like the sequel to the stay a while and listen mechanic, and we would love to know your thoughts on it. Let us know in the comments, or come have your say on the Discord. Oh, and don't forget to come back anytime.